Every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Omotayo Alo. In our major story, President Muhammad Buhari has warned military personnel to desist from human rights abuses or risk being sanctioned. Also in this program, in a bid to inspire a new core of visionary elite in the country, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has called on Nigerian leaders to aspire to win the people's heart rather than enrich themselves with state resources. The Consumer Protection Council in Nigeria has launched an investigation into the high cost of electricity by distribution companies with a view to putting an end to high tariffs. And from outside Nigeria, Saudi authorities have started investigations into the construction crane collapse that killed at least 107 people and wounded 238 others during a storm at Mecca's Grand Mosque. And now the news in full. President Muhammad Buhari has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to combat insecurity without violating the rule of law. Senior Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, in a statement, disclosed that the President, while addressing officers, troops and newly commissioned cadets at the Nigerian Defense Academy in Kaduna, says he will not condone the violation of human rights in the current war against insurgents. He applauded integrity and recent record of the armed forces as an institution, encouraging them not to relent on their activities. President Buhari stressed that security remains the most important challenge in his administration's change program and that the nation expects exemplary conduct and professionalism from officers and men of its armed forces. He also assured the armed forces of his administration's determination to provide the platforms and all equipment required in winning the war against terrorism within the specified deadline. President Muhammad Buhari has directed authorities to tighten security measures in all camps harboring internally displaced persons to guard against a reoccurrence of the explosion which occurred in Yola, Adamawa State on Friday. He described the bombing, which killed at least 3 persons, as heinous and cowardly, adding that the terrorists were bent on causing fear and panic among the populace. The president, however, urged Nigerians not to be deterred but rise in unison to root out whatever is left of the terrorists in the country. In a bid to inspire a new core of visionary elites in the country, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has called on Nigerians leaders to aspire to win the people's heart rather than enrich themselves with state resources. The Vice President stated this today at the opening of the Northern Reawakening Forum Summit at the Transcom ET Abuja. Osinbajo recalled Nigeria founding fathers in the north such as Sir Ahmadu Bello, Sultan of Sokoto, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Malam Aminu Kano, G.S. Tucker and countless others who clearly understood the varied issues afflicting the nation, thought through them, led the plans and worked selflessly. He commended the present core of Nigerian leadership to such selflessness and vision. He also stated the need for short-term strategy of immediate hardship alleviation as well as long-term plan to build the infrastructure that most closely affects the economic life of the most vulnerable citizens. Besides, there is also the need to build institutions that would make more of an impact in the years to come and beyond. The Consumer Protection Council in Nigeria has launched an investigation into the high cost of electricity by distribution companies with a view to putting an end to high tariff. At a meeting held in Abuja between the officials of the distribution companies and the CPC, the Director General of the Council, Dupe Atoki, said there is an increase in complaints by electricity consumers in the last few months, bordering an indiscriminate increase in electricity bills, non-supply of meters, and mass disconnections. Atoki said the CPC would not hesitate to sanction distribution companies found guilty of the allegations brought against them. In a bid to improve medium-scale business and the economy of the state, Ekiti State Government has signed a memorandum of understanding with indigenous company for the supply of megawatt of alternative power source. This development was set to improve medium-small-scale business in the state as part of effort to boost the economy. Our correspondent Rashid tells us more.
The epileptic power supply being experienced in different parts of the country has resulted to closure of many businesses, while those who are still in business run it at a very high cost. Recently, there has been improved power supply in some parts of the country, but this seems not to be the case in Ekiti State. It is on this premise that the state government signed a memorandum of understanding with an indigenous firm for the provision of an alternative power source to the tune of 1.15 megawatts within a period of 20 years. A representative of the state government described the partnership as timely.
We want to plead with you that you complete this project in record time. We are happy that you are giving us a 20-year period of initial commitment. We are excited about it.
The technical director of the project, Tassos Zazali, appreciates the state government's gesture towards ensuring an enabling environment for the project in Ekiti State.
The 1 megawatt will be powered the Benin distribution company net, and all the people that need near this area the power, they will get it.
The state is giving 15,000 square meters of land here.
1 megawatt of the generated power will be used for public consumption, while 150 kilowatts will be dedicated to the state's broadcasting station. With the latest development, Ekiti residents eagerly await a new dawn and an end to persistent darkness. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
We take a break now and we'll be back with more. Stay with us.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to your husband that you should keep promise about what you said. And because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Also, some people will stand for Yoruba land. We'll be strong man. We don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Some pundits believe that as long as the political system is driven by selected few, corruption may be difficult to fight.
You should be careful about what you say.
I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me.
Please Arena every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, it's CoreTV Primetime News, and here's a quick reminder of our major stories. President Muhammad Buhari has warned military personnel to desist from human rights abuses or risk being sanctioned. In a bid to inspire a new core of visionary elites in the country, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has called on Nigerian leaders to aspire to win the people's heart rather than enrich themselves with state resources. The Consumer Protection Council in Nigeria is launching an investigation into the high cost of electricity by distribution companies with a view to putting an end to high tariff. And for more of our news and information, you could visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News, our Twitter handle, CoreTV News NG. You could get more on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV, Space and News. Immediate past governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Fashola, has drawn the attention of members of the public to the antics of hawkers who compromise his Twitter account at Tunde Fashola and posted 4 tweets in a language that resembled Japanese. Former Governor Fashola's special advisor on media, Kim Bello, said the act might have been carried out on Friday, owing to the calls gotten in the early hours of Saturday on strange tweets. Bello added that the former governor recently disassociated himself from a Facebook scam whereby some persons used his photographs and ascribed fictitious statements to him on fake Facebook accounts aimed at defrauding his principal person. He stressed that the call became necessary for the obtained time in the view of the activities of scammers who have been issuing out series of Facebook comment and information in his name with the intention of duping unsuspecting members of the public, while advising members of the public to always clarify with appropriate agencies in dealing with people purportedly working for them. The media advisor to the former governor, of Lagos State, urged citizens to report to law enforcement agencies so that those involved in the nefarious act would be made to face the wrath of the law. And in Imo State, the state government has banned trailers from operating within the cities between the hour of 6 in the morning and 7 in the evening. In a statement on Friday, the chief press secretary to the governor, Sam Owomwadu, disclosed that this action is born out of the desire to protect the lives and property of the people. Owomwadu further pointed out that this is also in a bid to check the recent disasters caused by lung vehicles in many states across the country. Residents of Alagbole Akute in Ifo, local government area of Ogun State, are grappling with challenges posed by bad road network over the years. The situation for most residents reached its peak during the rainy season. And with rain now here, residents of the area are again exposed to the challenge of navigating the road. Now, our correspondent Precious Kingston, who visited the area, has more in this report presented from our studios.
Movement for those who have access to good roads is just hassle-free, but for the residents of Alagbole Akute for local government area of Ogun State, it's not something to be taken lightly with the awful condition of the road network within the area, which is home to thousands. For an average vehicle owner, navigating the roads here is a difficult task. Different strokes, they say, for different folks, which motorcycles and tricycles have become an alternative means of transportation, with many of them smiling to the bank daily. Some private vehicle owners who are not happy with the bad state of the roads bear their minds on what they go through daily.
Let government just support us to finish this job. We need an assistant, and because this road is worse thing. When the rain continue like this place will not. There is no way to pass, and a lot of motor and a bike spoiling along this road.
We are appealing to the governor to please. This is a good project, but we are appealing to them to finish it on time. The suffering here is much for us. I feel like packing out of Akute and move into Lagos.
This residents say the health implication has become a source of major worry, with refuse dumps now the common sight almost on the major roads.
Government should come to our own aid here and just see what they can do so that the people in this vicinity will not be able to contact any disease from what is going on with this.
The bad road network has 8 implications on economic activities in the area, leading to a mass immigration.
Yes, so everybody has run away now. No one is there again. Everybody has gone to
Ajal, Ikeja, Ogba, Bega, Ojodu, so Oshodi. In fact, many has gone back to Ibadan. But we are managing here because we don't have anywhere to go. So we need to relax here and be waiting on to God for God to do something. We are begging the government to assist us. It's not too late. Though we know this is rainy season, but at the same time, maybe during the dry season, they should help us to put things in order.
The problem we have now, look, you can see the vehicle, all the vehicle going now, is this bridge. The governor has tried to do the bridge to this level. Now that it's in, let it come and complete the bridge, or even do the wrong way for us so that we can see road passing. All the vehicle here are damaging. You can see this vehicle damaged, other one damaged there. Just help us to come and do the road. There's not anything else. For this main time now, let me just call the Chinese people to come and straighten the road so that people can pass around and the vehicle can move around.
With the situation showing no signs of an improvement anytime soon due to the ongoing financial crisis that has crippled activities in many states, the demand of the residents of the area is that the state government must find a quick fix solution to the bad state of the road.
Vanguard columnist Donu Kubara, who was kidnapped about 2 weeks ago, has regained a freedom. Donu Kubara was kidnapped 30th August at a Pogo residence in a CRV jeep. An outcry followed the abduction, with local and foreign media calling for release, just as the Rivers state government and the police authorities assured she will regain her freedom. Kubara was set free midnight after spending 13 days in captivity. The reward for hard work and can-do spirit finally played out as the group managing director of Core Media Services and CoreTV News, Jide Adediran, received 2 awards far away Toronto, Canada, in recognition of his giant strides in the media industry. CoreTV News at Deyemi Aziz has more in this report presented from our studios.
Group Managing Director, Core Media Services and CoreTV News, Jide Adediran, has received 2 awards for excellence in media industry from Toronto, Canada. The first award was given by Abidak Production in recognition of Core Media giant strides in the media industry, while the second award was presented by the African Entertainment Awards.
When I wanted to start my TV station, I called a friend. I said, my friend, I want to get a license to start a TV station. He said to me, Jide, forget it. The government of Nigeria will not give you that license. Today, that friend is running a show on my TV station. That is the spirit. The can-do spirit, the can-do ability of we Africans knows no bound. And that is why we are what we are. We're not in any way. I want to disagree with a lot of people here. We don't need their help. They come to our country to fetch their wealth.
Adediran, the awardee, stated that he and his team will continually gun for success and outshine its present achievements.
We are coming up. We are taking over. And we will do better. And everybody will come back home and excel. Thank you very much indeed for this. I appreciate everything.
Core Media Services has received awards home and abroad for its achievements in media industry.
A can-do spirit clearly played out for the CEO of CoreTV News. A big congratulations to him and the entire team of CoreTV News and Core Media Services. Now we'll take another break and we'll be back with stories from outside Nigeria, sports and more. Stay with us.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I said to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody have the right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Welcome. And the world of business, the Governor's Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has dismissed concerns about foreign exchange liquidity despite JP Morgan's removal of the country from its influential emerging markets bond index amid fears about the country's economic management. The United States Bank's decision was a further blow to Africa's biggest economy, already battered by falling oil prices and emerging market turmoil just 3 months after President Muhammad Buhari rode into office on a wave of optimism. The central bank governor, whose protectionist policies and management of the foreign exchange rate has alarmed analysts, said that dollar demand was still being met, although traders say liquidity has dried up. The country's ejection from the GBI-EM index late on Tuesday has already triggered outflows from the $2 billion of local bonds the index tracks. Nigeria's bond market regulator imposed a new spread limit on Thursday. And on the foreign scene, Saudi authorities have started investigation into the crane collapse that killed at least 107 people and wounded 238 others during a storm at Mecca's Grand Mosque. The governor of Mecca region, Prince Khalid Al Faisal, while offering condolences to families of the dead and the injured, pledging that the annual Hajj pilgrim would go ahead. A spokesperson for the two holy mosques disclosed that the crane was brought down by strong wind and heavy rain. Co-founder of the Mecca-based Islamic Heritage Research Foundation, Ifran Al-Awali, however, suggested that authorities were neglected by having a series of cranes overlooking the mosque. At least 3 Nigerians are among the 230 people injured in the crane collapse incident at the Grand Mosque in Mecca. Chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Abdullahi Mohammed, disclosed this at a news conference in Abuja. He added that the victims are presently receiving medical attention.
I convey the condolence and sympathy of Mr. President to the government of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia over the unfortunate incidents of the crane disaster that happened in the Grand Mosque of Mecca. Mr. President monitored the event closely, but I'm happy also to let Nigerians know that there is no Nigerian among the ones among the dead ones identified as at now, but we have it on record that 3 Nigerians sustained injury, 2 from Kaduna, 1 from Gombe, and they are being attended to by the Federal Medical Team. And I also brief your colleagues that so far 53,000 Nigerians have been airlifted. The remaining balance, God willing, they will be airlifted before the closure of Jeddah Airport. And all pilgrims are opportune to visit the holy city of Medina first before even the Hajj proper. And those that sustain injury, no matter what, they will be opportune to observe the day of Arafah. The Saudi government have a tradition whereby pilgrims who went for Hajj, even on sick bed, they will be conveyed to the Arafat ground so that they don't miss the Arafah.
It's indeed a very sad incident, and we wish the soul that are departed to rest in peace. Now in Egypt, Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has accepted Prime Minister Ibrahim Maled's resignation of the cabinet. The president, who disclosed this today, asked the cabinet to remain in a caretaker role until a new cabinet is formed. The statement did not give an explanation for the move, but it came just days after the agriculture minister was arrested over corruption. A senior government official, however, told journalists that the reshuffle was intended to pump new blood into the government in light of the scandal. Veteran left-winger Jeremy Corbyn has been elected leader of the UK's opposition Labour Party on Saturday after a contest that revealed deep divisions within the party's ranks. Corbyn, a socialist who ran on an anti-austerity platform, claimed victory in the first round of voting, taking 59.5% of the votes cast by more than 500,000 eligible Labour Party members and supporters. The contest was triggered by the resignation of former Labour leader Ed Miliband in May following the Conservative Party's surprise outright win in the general election. Hundreds of Tunisians today demonstrated against the controversial draft law and amnesty for corruption offences, defying a ban on protest under state of emergency. The demonstrators, including supporters of the leftist Popular Front coalition, carried placards and chanting "No to reconciliation" that whitewashes corruption. The draft law on economic reconciliation is the centerpiece of the new government's program and seeks to boost the economy by clearing cases against businessmen and civil servants accused of corruption. Opponents to the law, however, see it as an attempt to whitewash the crimes of the old regime and ignore an ongoing process of transitional justice through the Truth and Dignity Committee. And now to sports. Nigeria's international football team, the Super Eagles, will resume training at the end of September ahead of series of friendlies in Europe, as well as the 2016 African Nations Championship qualifier against Burkina Faso. The team's officials said the players from the Nigerian league would from the preliminary squad with the foreign-based stars to join in Europe. They also disclosed that the home-based Eagles will also win Burkina Faso in a 2016 championship qualifier on October 16, with the return leg on October 23 in Ouagadougou. The overall winners of this tie will qualify for the African Nations Championship in Rwanda next year. Serena Williams fell victim to one of the biggest shocks in tennis history at the US Open, said two-time champion Tracy Austin. Williams was 2 wins from completing the calendar Grand Slam, but lost 2-6 to 6-4, 6-4 to unseeded Italian Roberto Vinci in the semi-finals. Williams went into semi-final on a 33-match winning streak in Grand Slam, stretching back to Wimbledon 2014. She had hoped to match Steffi Graf's 1988 sweep off all 4 majors in the same year and was up against the player she had beaten 4 times without dropping a set. Premier League leaders Manchester City continue their 100th season with an injury-time winner over nearest challengers Crystal Palace. Nigeria teenager Kelechi Iheanacho stabbed home his first senior goal after Samuel Nasir's shot was saved. After a scrappy first half, Jesus Navas shot wide of an empty net for City after rounding keeper Alex McCarthy. Thiago Aguero leaped out with a keen injury 3 days ahead of Juventus' Champions League visit. Club record signing Kevin De Bruyne was brought on in his place as a first-half substitute, with managers Manuel Pellegrini and Alan Pardew having a heated argument over the incident. Palace defender Scott Dan received the yellow card for the late challenge on Argentina Aguero as City spent a large part of the match struggling to create offensively. And now to entertainment. Nigerian movie industry, popularly called Nollywood, has grown to promote the qualities of actors and actresses as well as enrich the African culture over the years through creative script writing, directing and producing. In this report, CoreTV takes a look at filmmaking in the 21st century, the challenges and the opportunities that abound. Netu Elabare has more.
Nollywood, third largest in the world after America's Hollywood and India's Bollywood, showcases bright brains who has made the Nigerian screen and stage a force to reckon with. The quality of films produced yearly attests to this. Challenges abound, however. Femi Odugbemi, an award-winning filmmaker, writer, and photographer, speak on the opportunities that abound in this growing industry. As one who writes, directs, documentaries, drama, and commercials, Odugbemi believes creativity has no bounds. Nollywood has given people an economic opportunity to express themselves and become self-employed.
Nollywood presents an incredible opportunity, not just for employment, but for contributing to Nigeria's economy in a big way. You have to think, first of all, of the primary economic opportunities, which is actually the employment that Nollywood provides for young people as creative people to express themselves, but not just to express themselves, but to make a living at storytelling. We have an incredible advantage in that the Nigerian audience wants to consume Nigerian stories, and because of that, Nollywood will continue to grow.
Government cannot ignore such a large, creative, and striving industry like Nollywood.
Well, I don't think it has much of a choice. The truth of the matter is there is great economic advantage in a film-making environment. I think it would be ill-advised for government to ignore. What I think is critical for this government to do is to go a step forward beyond what the last government has done. The last government has tried to invest money in the creation of content. The last government has tried to invest money in the training of people within the industry.
And also, government should assist Nollywood in fighting piracy of films in Nigeria.
The fact that we have so much copyright infringement, the fact that you still have people violating people's economic investment in such a flagrant way is really sad.
No doubt Nollywood has come to stay. While millions of Nigerians ask for more creativity from the industry, filmmakers will compete with their counterparts all over the world. In no distant future from now, Nigeria will be a society where filmmaking can strive better. Neto Elare, CoreTV News, Lagos.
And before we call it a day, here's a quick reminder of the top stories. President Muhammad Buhari has warned military personnel to desist from human rights abuses or risk being sanctioned. In a bid to inspire a new core of visionary elite in the country, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has called on Nigerian leaders to aspire to win the people's heart rather than enrich themselves with state resources. The Consumer Protection Council in Nigeria has launched an investigation into the high cost of electricity by distribution companies with a view to putting an end to high tariffs. And it's a wrap on CoreTV Primetime News. My name is Omotayo Alo. Thank you so very much for watching. Have a good night rest.